If you've got 5 minutes but not all day, here's a really crap guide to anime.
The Straw Hats are about to take down Kaido, brah. This is a crap guide to— oh my gosh, it's Ma!
He's in, boys! He did it! He said it!
Disclaimer. Due to the fact that I want this to be a crap guide, and because I want you to support the official release, this guide is based primarily on my own highly faulty memory of manga chapters, released almost 4 years ago, and the inaccurately paced anime episodes that aired 2 years ago. That being said, the order of these events may be inaccurate. Feel free to correct in the comments below. Prologue. So the 9 Red Scabbards arrive at Tokage Port where everyone was supposed to meet, but they decide that they have to go anyways.
Shorzy, you ready?
Give your balls a tug, tit fucker.
You're going.
Yeah!
Frankie, you ready? You're going.
Yeah!
Judy, you ready?
Let's fucking go, Sanger.
Good, because you're going.
Yeah!
Hitch, you ready?
All hands, boys!
Good, because you're going.
Yeah!
Dolo, run him up and fill him in.
Une fois, mon Sanger.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah!
The best goalie in the no-show, Michaels, you ready?
You damn right, Sanger.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah!
Pack mentality, boys.
Kanjuro reveals that he was secretly a bad guy all along,
Had a spare there. See, I pulled a sneaky on you.
What a twist!
which really makes taking the extra time to save him on Dressrosa extremely pointless. He kidnaps the whiniest kid in the entire world. I will never understand child kidnappers. Why would you ever want to spend an extended amount of time with a kid that you are not responsible for? I just don't get it. Anyways, subscribe if you also don't understand child kidnappers. And back to the video. Shinobu is left on the shore looking fat and gross. I mean, perfectly acceptable for a woman of your high caliber. Meanwhile, everyone else left from Habu Port when they met with a beast pirate ship, and in a competition to show off their skills, Luffy, Eustace Kid, and Trafalgar Law, well, let me just show you.
My main goal is to blow up.
The 9 Red Scabbards meet up with the Straw Hats just as a beast pirate ship is trying to blow them out of the water, when the ship is suddenly destroyed by Jinbei. And now it's time for how to correctly say things with your host, Graham R., who cannot see. Hello? Hello? Oh, there you are. In the official wanted poster drawn by Oda, Jinbei's name is spelled Jinbe and pronounced Jinbei. And anyone who tells you different is wrong. Now, there's the door. This has been how to correctly say things with Graham R., who cannot see. The Beast Pirates are having a party. Kaido and Big Mom just decided to join forces to find the One Piece and rule the world together. They decided friendship was more important. Everything was going great. Food, booze, women, they were having a ball. Until this happened. So the Alliance pulls an Agent 47. And Oda says,
I think we better split up.
now Kaido's crew is broken up into 6 sections. At the bottom, there are the waiters, crew members who have not yet gotten to eat a smile fruit. The pleasures, crew members who ate a defective smile fruit and are cursed to laugh and smile for life. The gifters, crew members who ate a smile fruit and received half a Zoan powers. And the headliners, the strongest crew members with either an ancient Zoan devil fruit or absorbed pirate captains that have devil fruit powers. The 6 strongest headliners being called the Tobiropo or the Flying Six. Above them are the All-Stars for Kaido's generals, the Numbers, failed ancient giant clones that are pretty much actual demons, Jack, former, Queen, and King, and at the very top, in the role of Governor General / Captain, sits 100 Beast Kaido, King of the Beasts.
Hurry up, Joker! It's time for the final battle! Get ready! If this dreary world is destroyed, so be it.
The Tobiropo consists of Ulti, her brother Page 1, who can turn into a Pachycephalosaurus and a Spinosaurus, respectively. Who's who can turn into a saber-toothed tiger, Sasaki, who can turn into a Triceratops, look ma, I'm a dinosaur, and Black Maria, who can transform into a Rosa Miguel Gravogli, an ancient prehistoric carnivorous tarantula. X-Drake is pronounced Diaz Drake because Diaz means 10 in Spanish and X is the Roman numeral for 10. Who is Yamato? Yamato is Kaido's daughter, who identifies specifically as Kozuki Oden, therefore making them a man. Banished as a child, Yamato grew up on the kindness of strangers, but anyone caught feeding him would be severely punished or killed. Yamato was captured and put in a cave to starve with the other leaders of the regions of Wano that defied Kaido, but he eventually escaped thanks to Shimotsuki Ushimaru, Ryuma's descendant and Zoro's great-uncle, who gave her his food at the cost of him starving. Now that that's all out of the way, Part 1. Kaido explains that he's going to take over America by flying Hawaii's Big Island over New York City and pulling a Madara Chapter 560. Orochi says, "Can we not?" and say that we did, and Kaido plays murder at instant speed. Kaido then throws an ultimatum to the entire stadium. Join me or die. The 9 red scabbards hear this and are like, Aku! And slash him right in the scar that Kozuki Oden left. They all go up to the roof. The Straw Hats all fight randomly against the Beast Pirates until they reach the performance floor. Luffy.
Let them go. All the ones trying to get in the door. I'ma go where they all couldn't go. Up a floor, up a floor, up a floor.
He starts fighting Page 1, but escapes when Yamato defeats him in one hit. Takes off his mask and reveals that his sex, not gender identity, is female. Luffy almost makes it to the roof, but is knocked back down to the performance floor. Intermission. The performance floor. The Straw Hats all unite for an Avengers pose. It's at this point that Ichiro Oda begins what I like to call the 10-chapter stretch. Part 2. Kaido starts lifting Onigashima into the air and flying it towards the flower capital. And just for the scale of this, Onigashima is a 33,093 foot tall giant rock formation. It's not a skull. At best estimation, it weighs about 6 million tons, or about the weight of 1,200,000 elephants. The real threat being that if it dropped, every single bomb in the armory would explode, devastating everything. Momonosuke proudly declares that he is the son of Kozuki Oden, and Kaido then prepares to execute him to finally end the Kozuki bloodline, but he is saved by Yamato and Shinobu. Momonosuke then hides out under Yamato's clothes. Kaido lies and announces that Momonosuke is dead to demoralize the alliance. Basil Hawkins and the rest of the Tobiropo catch X-Drake, and it turns out that he was actually
Captain Cutler! Dr. Najib! Mr. Magnus! Dr. Jekyll! Mr. Greenway!
Drake then pulls out a grenade and tries to unalive via explosive himself and Queen, but fails.
Shoot!
Momonosuke gets on the Onigashima intercom and says,
"Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?"
He actually says,
"First of all, I'ma live forever. But if I do die, I'll go smack God upside the head and go tell him to give me a grilled cheese sandwich and some tacos."
Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
The Straw Hats versus the Tobiropo. Luffy.
I know we can get higher. There's levels to your love, and I keep on climbing up.
Zoro goes up to the rooftop with Luffy. Notable event. While running from page 1, Otama broadcasts a commanding message which turns all of the half-zone gifters to their side. Nami joins up with Otama and Usopp, who are running from page 1. Gets nearly beaten to death by Ulti for declaring that Luffy will be king of the pirates.
He'll become king of the pirates!
Usopp. After the performance floor, Usopp runs from and injures page 1, invoking Ulti's wrath. Gets nearly beaten to death by Ulti. Nami, Tama, and Usopp discover they can lean on Big Mom when she shows up and brutally murders Ulti by playing some major laser. Sanji is captured by Black Maria, who says,
"Scream. Make sure everyone can hear you."
He eventually calls out for Robin, who shows up, and Robin, He then goes to assist Chopper, arriving just after the release of the Ice Oni virus, and delivering a nearly dead Zoro wrapped in bandages. We'll get to that later. Chopper stays in the Curtison's quarters with Big Mom until she hears that Kaido is being attacked and goes to help him. Upon arriving at the performance floor, Robin uses Delphinium to roll her away. This hit restores Big Mom's memory, and she turns back into her old evil self, but she still cares for Otama. Queen releases the Ice Oni, an incurable virus that makes COVID-19 look like a sneeze on a chilly day. This virus causes your body to freeze, and once it does, you lose your mind to become a rampaging ice demon. Queen says that whoever defeats him gets the antidote, the Alliance or his own men he just released it on. Sanji arrives to fight Queen while Chopper reverse engineers an antidote. Brook saves Sanji, is temporarily sent into an illusion of his dead crew, the Rumbar Pirates, and must sadly kill every last one of them. After being separated from Robin, he fights against and kill it with Fire-style Fireball Jutsu's underlings in a floor on fire, which he completely freezes using the chill of the underworld.
Soul Parado! I Ice bomb.
Carries Robin until their path is blocked by fire. Robin fights against r/boss fight, is temporarily sent into an illusion of her mother, Professor Clover, and Saul Onohara, but overcomes it. She is nearly defeated by the spider owns the house now, but seemingly awakens her devil fruit in a transformation called Demonio Fleur, gets extremely handsy, and in a move that some might say is too graphic for even your incognito tab, tears off all 8 of r/Noah Get the Boat's arms using Grand Jacuzzi Clutch. In the anime, she just breaks them. Also, yes, I did just use 2 Reddit jokes in this, fuck you. She's carried by Brooke until their path is blocked by fire. Jinbei fights against MatPat.
Wow. Yeah. You proud of yourself? No.
Yeah, that's too soon.
I mean lore dump. I mean Mr. Exposition. I mean who's who. I think it's very on the nose that Oda named a character who's who only existed to explain a flashback and get his ass beat. Jinbei then goes to help Raizo, who had just defeated I left my gauges in too long, direct the elephant's bath blast of water throughout Onigashima to put out the fire. Frankie goes on to fight Sasaki, the Triceratops plane pilot, who destroys General Frankie, but not without serious injury.
Ladies and gentlemen, pilots turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats with your seatbelts fastened.
Frankie pops out and says, "You ever met Admiral Kizaru? He gave me the idea for this one. Radical beam!"
Oh no! Oh no! No, 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 no.
Part 3. Roof Piece. One Piece Chapter 1000. Straw Hat Luffy. Luffy and Zoro finally reach the roof, joining Trafalgar Law and Eustace, Captain Kidd, where Luffy discovers that Kaido has brutally defeated the 9 Red Scabbards. Kaido and Big Mom stand over their bodies, and Luffy calmly walks right past them as if they're not even there.
Damn!
Kinemon begs Luffy to stop Kaido and apologizes that this became his fight. Luffy jumps high in the air and it is truly amazing. Kaido gets up and him and Big Mom unleash Hakai. This translates to Supremacy Sea or God Wave. For all of you Dragon Ball Super fans, this is the same word being used when Beerus destroys Zamasu. Luffy, Law, and Kid play chicken to see who'll try to stop it first. Zoro steps in and completely blocks the attack like a natural badass. While tanking it, he orders Law to teleport everyone except Luffy, Kid, Law, and himself into the Skull Dome. All right, so telling Luffy to let Usopp go, nothing happened, 3 billion-fold worlds Trichliacosm, leading the rest of the Straw Hats into Wano alone, and blocking the Hakai attack. I believe I have all of my evidence to prove that Zoro should be the captain of the Straw Hat Pirate. Yeah, well, screw you. Law and Kid managed to knock Big Mom off of Onigashima, while Zoro, using Foxfire technique that he learned from Kinemon. Oh, and did I mention in less than a week, continually slices Prometheus, and Kid traps Zeus inside a machine so they can't save Big Mom. Big Mom falls in the water that uses part of her soul to create a new homie named Hera that saves her. Meanwhile, Luffy has run out of time in Gear 4th and is OOC for 10 minutes. So Zoro the boss steps up and uses his most powerful attack on Kaido. Ashura Baki. Mohano Tawamare! Ashura, blades drawn. Dead man's game. The wave of energy from this attack cuts off one of the horns of Onigashima. This is likely 3,000 to 5,000 feet of solid rock. This attack cuts Kaido so deep that he recognizes the blade Enma and comments that the scar from Zoro's attack will never fully heal. He then promptly beats Zoro to a bloody pulp on the brink of death. Law delivers his body to Sanji, and he then goes on to join Kid in fighting Big Mom. Part 4. Luffy gets up and starts fighting Kaido again, but it's like...
A pool? Oh! See ya!
At this point, Ichiro Oda begins what I would like to call yet another 10-chapter stretch. Kaido goes back into the Skull Dome to hunt down Momonosuke. He is confronted by Kinemon, who is very weak after just defeating Kanjuro. He makes an extremely valiant, legendary last stand against Kaido. Kaido then seemingly kills Okiku and Kinemon by chopping him in half. Turns out Law's ability from Punk Hazard never wore off and Kanjuro survived. He is later found by Usopp. Kaido returns to the roof because some 12-year-old on Black Ops 6 said his mom was gay. At the real Kozuki Oden has entered the game. Yamato begins to fight him, having transformed into a mythical divine white wolf Zoan. Meanwhile, Luffy unconsciously uses the voice of all things to call out while he is drowning.
Help me! Help me! Nigga! Help me!
And is saved by the Heart Pirates, Law's crew. Caribou, the stowaway, revives him with food. Momonosuke says,
I wish I were big.
And Shinobu permanently ages him by 20 years. He transforms and Luffy says, "You've never seen How to Train Your Dragon? Oh, we have to watch it." 1 hour and 38 minutes later. They reach the top of the Skull Dome, and, at least in the anime, Yamato and Luffy unleash a combo attack so powerful that it knocks Kaido through 4 to 6 good-sized stone pillars. Kaido returns. Kaido goes into dragon form and looks at Momonosuke.
Hold up, wait, stop, this doesn't make sense. Hold up, wait, who are you? I am you. I am me. No sir, you are you. Wait, I don't know. 2 is 2. Got 2 bust downs, diamonds blue. $5 million for a deal, that's cool. I wanted 7, label said -2.
Luffy looks at Momonosuke and says,
Slap your daddy. Slap your motherfucking daddy. Motherfucker gonna steal from you. Make you pay him back for raising you. Smack your goddamn daddy. Go on, man, smack him. Oh, come on, man, you can do better than that. Smack your goddamn daddy. Yeah, I'm gonna show you how to smack this motherfucker. You gonna give back everything you took.
Yamato and Momonosuke leave so that Momonosuke can stop Onigashima from moving and falling. Kaido looks at Luffy. Little nigga, I've dropped you 3 times in this arc. What you doing stepping to me again? Luffy looks at Kaido. Nah, I'd win.
I understand it now.
They start fighting again and Luffy gets knocked down, but he gets back up and he's glowing and Kaido's like, are they really using the same sound effects as Goku going Super Saiyan? God Funimation. Luffy uppercuts the daylights out of him, then starts hitting him with Rio punches that are damaging past his natural armor, and Kaido's like, okay, boy know how to box. 1 episode Whitebeard versus Roger flashback. Kaido and Luffy's Conqueror's Haki clashes and parts the clouds themselves. Which does a number of things, including, but not limited to, letting the moon shine so that all of the minks return to Sulong form, which allows Inuarashi to make Jack look even stupider than he already does, and Nekomamushi to defeat Perospero, who he knocked out of the fight with Chopper. And that, folks, is how you wrap back around to a plot point. Part 4B. Everyone who is not Luffy. Zoro is bandaged by Sanji, who delivers him to Chopper. Chopper gives him a miracle drug that will instantly heal him now, but will double all of the pain from his injuries later. He immediately uses Shi Son Son, Lion Song, to one-shot Scratchman Apu and get the antidote. He gives it to Chopper. He begins fighting King and Queen with Sanji, but branches off to fight King, develops Conqueror's Haki, promises Sanji that he'll kill him if he becomes a monster, and using King of Hell, 107 Mercies, Dragon Damnation, defeats King by cutting off his wing. Sanji delivers Zoro to Chopper and begins fighting Queen. Queen's sword breaks against him and he realizes that his Germa 66 powers are awakening, and he hates that. Queen runs away, and due to a false testament, Sanji is framed for hitting a woman. Actually, Queen did it. Sanji wonders if his Germa blood made him lose control. He calls Zoro and asks Zoro to kill him if he becomes a monster. But when Queen shows he can turn invisible, Sanji figures it out. Queen goads him to use his raid suit, but Sanji destroys it. Sanji's anger flares and he develops Ifrit Jam and ignites his leg in 3 flames. And at faster than perceivable speeds, sends Queen flying. Frankie recuperates from his fight with Sasuke. Robin and Brook, still trapped in fire. Usopp, Kinemon, and Okiku are found by Otama and Speed, a taken-over half-giraffe gifter. Chopper, only a canonical half hour after its release, fully heals Zoro, who cuts Apu, and gets the antidote, which he uses to develop Chopperphage, a widespread cure for the Ice Oni disease, which is why, if you've seen any of my past content, you will know that I consider Chopper to be the second smartest character in One Piece, just under Dr. Vegapunk. Nami and Shinobu join Chopper on the live floor after he cures the Ice Oni disease. Remember when I said that Kaido played murder at instant speed? Well, due to Orochi's devil fruit and having multiple heads, he didn't die. But he did go and hide off in a small room inside of Onigashima, where he was met by Komurasaki, a woman who he had ordered to be killed, and a woman who was secretly Kozuki Hiyori, Oden's daughter. She played the shamisen for him for a little bit, and then eventually revealed herself, and attempted to kill Orochi by pinning him down with sea stone nails. He fully transformed into his Yamato no Orochi form. Kanjuro, who was almost dead from his fight with Kinemon, used his final will to create a Kazenbo, a giant flaming ghost that was the spirit of all of the rage of the Kurozumi clan that would sink through the floor and eventually hit the armory, exploding everything. The ghost caught Orochi on fire, and at the last moment, Denjiro, who had been revealed to be a good guy, finally slayed Orochi. That is why everything is on fire. Jinbei worked with Raizo to redirect the elephant's bath, a stored water blast from Zunisha, throughout Onigashima, putting out all of the flames. Yamato tries to get Momonosuke to develop dragon clouds to stop Onigashima, but has to leave to freeze the armory so that it doesn't explode. She encounters Scratchman Apu and the numbers on the way, but manages to escape them and freezes the armory just as Kazenbo gets there, freezing it as well. Big breath. Okay, Kid and Law speedrun. Law and Kid fight Big Mom, but Kid keeps getting mysteriously hurt because Hawkins has a straw doll linked to him and is fighting Killer on the floor below. Killer cuts off Hawkins' arm, which does not hurt Kid because the red-haired pirates took his right arm. Law, Kid, and Big Mom bust through to the live floor. Kid creates a bull construct called Punk Cornadio and hits Big Mom. He then awakens his devil fruit and makes everything metal in the area magnetized to Big Mom's body, which crushes her into the floor. Thinking she was defeated, Law and Kid breathe a sigh of relief. Then she gets up.
Two kids gone die tonight!
Big Mom rises from the pile of metal and unleashes Soul Pocus, which affects anyone scared of her and sets the rule to slave or life. In essence, join me or die. She then powers up even more and unleashes her ultimate attack, Mother's Misery, a homie formed from giving life to the major laser attack. It manifests as a woman made of lightning and flames, and it attacks everything. Almost dead, Kid creates a gigantic railgun called Damned Punk and fires. It creates a hole straight through the bottom of Onigashima, narrowly missing the bombs in the armory. Big Mom doesn't fall through, but that's when Law awakens his ability and uses room anesthesia to coat his sword in a room and sticks it straight through Big Mom's body. He then extends the sword all the way to the core of the island of Wano and uses the ability Shock Veil to shock her with all the pain she should be feeling. This ability was never well explained. They manage to push her into the hole, and Kid repeatedly shoots her. Like a demon being sent back to hell, she laughs and yells that it doesn't even hurt, and she is still growing more powerful from Soul Pocus. So Law puts her in a bubble called Re-Room, where no sound can escape, and Kid blasts her through the hole all the way down into Wano's molten magma core. Whew. Now, back to Luffy versus Kaido. Kaido gets drunk, but it weirdly makes him stronger. Luffy and Kaido continue to fight and are finally about to unleash their most powerful attack when a CP0 agent named Guernica pops up and goes, Alan! Distracting Luffy and letting Kaido do the final blow. Kaido, enraged that he didn't win this fight fairly, looks at Guernica. Do you know what you've just done? Guernica tips his hat to the world of the living and is smashed by Kaido so hard that they couldn't show his death in the manga. Luffy dies. Fully dies. Law even says that he can no longer hear Luffy's voice. Part 5. Absolute Looney Tunes. Kaido's like, I'm winning, so they had to dump Gatorade. And Nami's like, you need to leave. Kaido like, I like my women like I like my coffee. Scalding hot. Marco like, come on, man. That's too easy. Meanwhile, on the roof, Luffy's dead body starts twitching. His heart beating like the drum solo intro to Hot for Teacher. And Zunisha like, that's a dope-ass beat, my dude. Reminds me of my brother. He was a rapper that went by the stage name Joy Boy, but in the hood, we just knew him as the Aquarius Jackson. But we just called him the Square. Luffy goes Nightmare Fuel Supernova, and when the camera stopped flashing, there go the men in black, because it's white hair, white shirt, white shorts, and a white attitude. Now it's time for exposition with the Gorosei. The Gum Gum fruit does not exist. Straw Hat ate the human fruit model sun god Nika. It gives him the ability to fight and change the world around him based on his own imagination. It is the most ridiculous power in the world. But what does that all mean? He's a cartoon. Dear Emu. This has been Exposition with the Gorosei. Luffy announces that this is his peak, Gear 5th, and then proceeds to create a giant hand and tells Kaido, get over here! To sum things up, through a series of gags, Luffy completely destroys Kaido in the most Looney Tunes way that he possibly can, but gains some notable abilities. Luffy can now fly and run on air. He is nearly impervious to all physical damage. He can use all manner of cartoon physics to fight. A large area around him turns rubbery. He can become a giant. He can turn energy, at least lightning, into rubber and swing around it or even throw it. And last, but certainly not least, and only in the anime, he can mimic the effects of other people's devil fruits, as seen when he became a beam of light in one scene. Pretty much, if it's funny, he can do it. The fight continues, culminating in Kaido turning into a flaming dragon and Luffy readying a fist that is larger than Onigashima, which at base guess, Bajiran gun is about 40,000 by 40,000 feet and likely weighs around 80 million tons. Luffy looks at Momonosuke and pulls a Tien. Kaido realizes he's lost, and at the end says, Straw Hat, what kind of world do you want? And Luffy simply responds, I want a world where my friends can eat as much as they want! With that, he punches Kaido so hard that Kaido not only hits the ground of Wano, but barrels through the ground to join Big Mom in the underground magma pit. And to completely finish them and drive the point home, right then, the massive volcano that Wano is built on erupts them into the sky and seemingly incinerates their bodies. But no one can confirm, and many still speculate that Kaido and Big Mom are still alive somewhere, plotting their bloody revenge. Luffy transforms out of Gear 5th, falls to the ground, and is caught by Yamato just as Onigashima safely crash lands into the ground. Second big breath. Okay, end of Wano speedrun. Momonosuke is revealed as an adult and is appointed the next ruler of Wano. Luffy is officially named the 4th Emperor of the Sea, and Buggy the Clown has replaced Big Mom. Admiral Ryukugyu, who can turn into a forest, sucks the remains of King and Queen dry. Then attacks, but is blocked by Momonosuke, Yamato, and the 9 Red Scabbards. He is about to overpower them when he is hit by super powerful haki from Shanks, who is on a ship halfway across the entire island. Shanks announces that they're going for the One Piece. Luffy feels his haki and says it feels familiar. The next day, the Straw Hats have a tearful goodbye. Yamato, Kinemon, and Momonosuke officially become honorary Straw Hats. Luffy claims Wano as his territory, and the Straw Hats leave. I'm never doing that again. We've caught up in nearly the entire story. We're 1,057 chapters in, and now you know something.